This is something we all can love or love to hate. Work can be a wonderful and enjoyable experience if only you can lock into something you know you were born to do, that you can do in your sleep, or you can find your hobby, your goal, your dreams in what you do for a living. Okay. Today, I just want to talk to you about work. Nothing too crazy, nothing too hard, but I want to share some things that I believe will bless you and help you to see work in a more, I would say, helpful or even impactful way. And once we start looking at work as not being a chore, when you have to make your bed when you get up and you have to do things that people assign to you, this is work, right? It is work. However, the type of environment you choose to allow work to thrive in, the type of attitude you take when you are actually working, and how you choose to show up for someone else, these three things will help you to see work in a, I would say, a unique way, sometimes a refreshing way. And sometimes we need to work better or work smarter. And when we start to work smarter, it doesn't feel like work at all. Okay. I want to share with you today from the book, Bless the Work of My Hands. It's a 21-day devotional and journal. You can grab it wherever books are sold. The book, if you want it signed, you can get it from my website, which is authorklee.com, authorklee.com. And when you go there, you can get signed copies. It comes with a 21-day, really 22-day email reminders. It's an experience with me. So I'm going to go through it with you, which I think is one of the best parts of this book. It is in full color. It's about 200 pages, if you're wondering. And it's meant to be used twice, at least twice. Then, of course, you can do it with someone else, which builds even more value. But ultimately, the book is going to help you to set up the things that you need to essentially move life forward and see the blessing on your life. Today, I'm going to be reading some parts from day 7, and that starts on page 65. So as you can see, the book has quality. And I'm going to read the devotional for you, which is the Bible verse. The Bible verses are in the book, so you don't necessarily have to look them up. They're already there. After that, it's going to transition into the actual devotional itself, which is usually 2 to no more than like 3 pages. There are questions in here where you can write your answers. There is a prayer that goes along with the devotional, as well as the affirmation that comes, a reflection, and then lastly, there is a note section. So it is a complete experience book. And if you want to dive deeper, if you want to grow spiritually and see the traction, we can grow spiritually, but don't always see it. So if you want to be able to see it, I encourage you again to grab this book. If you need to take a picture of it, go ahead and do that. Another place you can grab it too, if you're on TikTok, is you can grab it from my TikTok shop at author Kaylee, which is right here. So feel free to click on there and you can grab it right here on TikTok. All right, but here we go. This is Psalms 49, verses 16 through 20. And it reads like this: counts himself blessed, how he lives through. And though you get praise when you do well for yourself, his soul will go to the generation of his fathers who will never again see life. Many man in his pomp, yet without understanding, is like the beasts that perish. Um, what I love about the simplicity of this is sometimes we think we have to do something grand. We think we have to do something over the top to deserve to be here. And I want to let you know the fact that the Father brought you here already says you have a work to do. Okay. It already says you have a purpose. It already says you were born on purpose. Okay. But when we don't fully embrace that, we feel like we're just here wasting time. For some of us, we're here buying time, we're here trying to make up for time, we're here trying to prove ourselves. But I want to let you know, don't get caught up by distractions and miss the actual work. Okay. All right, so here we go. Wow, wow, wow. This passage had me rock when I first read Psalms 49 for the inclusion in this book. I was speechless, and the reflection on the things that Father said had me too ready to write more. I had to pull it in to select this section, but I love what comfort it can bring to encourage you to keep working. Okay, I want to encourage you today to work. I also want to encourage you to look at your atmosphere, look at how you respond to work, and look at your attitude when you're working. because these three things need to work together with you for you to get out everything the Father has for you as it pertains to work. Working, yes, people might just say, well, working is a curse. But in Genesis, it says we have to work because that was part of that curse. However, working is part of also your life. And in Ecclesiastes, it talks about the good of work and how working can make you feel purpose. It can give you direction. It can help you to focus on the things that are of value and that are and that carry weight in your life, especially when we're unaware of it or we're struggling to find it. Hi, Wealthy VIP. It's good to see you this morning. Good morning. Thanks for being in the Rose Club. So yeah, so I want to let you know, if right now work feels like work and it's overwhelming or it's not gelling with you, I want to encourage you. Those three things are the things you want to look at. So I'm going to drop down a little bit in here just to give you some really good parts of it. People who stray away from Yah, God Almighty, will find themselves dying no different, than an animal. Yet it is possible to do lots of things while you are here on earth. You can build cities with your name on it. You can buy mansions, houses, cars, Rolex watches, and all that your heart desires. You can go to concerts, have the best seats, and do all that your heart is contented to do. But when you die, you see, we all have to get to the point where we account for how we lived our lives. What work have you been doing? What work have you done for someone else? How have you invested in the kingdom of God? How have you invested in your purpose? Or did you bury it like the wicked servant in the New Testament, where he says he buried his talents under the earth? And the Father called him lazy and wicked. I want to let you know, if you're here on earth, there is a work to do. The only question is, are you willing? It also says that there is plenty of work, but few laborers, which means few people actually find the work they're supposed to do, because many of us are bombarded by the cares, the ideas, the things we want personally, and we may not see the big picture and how our work, although it may be small, it might be simple, it might be short, we might not see how it all connects to the bigger picture. So it's easy to assume that our picture may not have any impact or it doesn't matter. But I want to let you know that your life, no matter how simple, no matter how complex, has a purpose in the grand plan of the Father, God Almighty. And the only question is will you work your part? Everybody doesn't have to be the brains. Everybody doesn't have to be the hands, the feet, the toes, but there are those that are. And if you know who you are in the body of Christ, if you are willing to be in your lane, you're going to discover magnificent things about who you are and who you are growing to become. No one is born 100% ready for everything they're going to endure in this life, which is why we work to show ourselves approved. We study to show ourselves approved, and we also show what we believe by what we're willing to work for or work to do. Okay, so the more you believe in something, someone, the more you're willing to work to care for them, right? When you love your children, no one has to remind you to get up to go to work. When you love your family, no one has to tell you go take care of them, because you're willing to show that you love and care about them based on what you're willing to work to do. Okay, so I want to encourage you today, if you are doing the work, allow the Father to what? Bless the work of your hands. That's the name of this is 21 days to bless the work of my hands, because I want you to understand that if you want the Father to get involved, you got to give him something to work with. I love when Melvin named the podcast that we are on together. Give me something to work with. Because if the Father doesn't have anything to do, right, to come alongside you, to do things, to grow with you, or it's not that he doesn't have plans for you, but if you decide not to check into those plans, if you decide to do things your way and avoid or ignore the plans he has for you, then you're going to find that your life won't do all it can do. You're going to find that eventually some things feel left out, especially if the biggest part is him. Okay, so sometimes that's the reason why we feel this anxiety or this anxiousness or this awkward, like something isn't quite right feeling, is because something isn't quite right. Someone is really missing. Okay, so the only question next is, how are we going to respond to our emotions, our feelings? Are we going to answer them? Are we going to listen to them? Or are we going to ignore them and bypass them? One thing is true. We all have a limited supply of time, and how we use it matters. The Bible tells us the parable of the wise virgins who kept oil for their lamps so they would be ready for the bridegroom when he came. The ones who were playing around and wasting their oil had none left when he came, so they thought to borrow from those who had, only they said, "No, you have to go back and get more," but there was no time. I want to let you know, if you are right now in a situation where time is not on your side or you feel like it's not, I want to let you know that the Father is able to redeem your time. So if you should have started your business 5 years ago, but you're starting it today, good news, the Father can redeem your time. If you should have already done something and you missed the boat or you feel that way or so, the good news is the Father is able to do supernatural things to accelerate us and to bless us with favor. Okay, the gifts of grace and mercy are also there for those who choose to take advantage of it. These are gifts. Salvation is a gift. So if you want it, you have to what? Receive it. And when you receive it, you show that you have embraced it by how you work. Okay, work is an important element to how we live our lives. It's also important to where we spend our time. Most of our time is spent working, especially on a job or working our business or building a career or working towards something. Today, if you have not considered what is worth working for, I want you to take the time right now to consider just one thing that you would like to spend more of your time doing. Doesn't mean you have to get paid for it. Doesn't mean it has to become $1 million idea. It just means this is something you enjoy doing and you don't feel as work. Because when you start to find the things that you love and that you enjoy, when you do them, you can do it with your whole heart. It will allow you to release the energy that needs to come into the world, that needs to come and bless people. Whether people buy it or not is not the point. The point is you want to be working on helping you become the best version of yourself. And you'll be surprised if you're able to work in one capacity, how it will leak over into another. When you're able to work on your personality or your personal development, it impacts how efficient you are on your job. It impacts if you have the confidence to launch your business. It impacts what kind of book you're going to write, or if you're going to start today, or if you're going to continue to procrastinate. Okay. I also want to point out that when you go to work, okay, there is an atmosphere that is established. All right. The best thing about working that I feel the Father has given most of us is we get to choose where we work. We don't necessarily get to choose if we work. Working is part of what we got to do to what earn money, make a living, etc. And even if it's not a part of making money, working is how we are able to reinvest our time and show the Father gratitude based on how we choose to use or invest our time. So it's all pretty much connected to part of life. All right. So you get to pick where you choose to work. You get to pick to choose how you want to work, meaning what you want to do for a living. If you want to be reinvented and do something new, if you feel like now is the time to embrace all that you have because you don't want to leave earth full of ideas, you want to leave empty. And that's the case. I want to encourage you. You can still do these things, and it doesn't mean quit your career. It could mean see how you can transition your life so that you can transition into the things that you are also called to do. Okay. And when you're on the job, I want you to also, I mentioned this briefly, but look at your atmosphere. And I want you to look at your atmosphere because your atmosphere can be part of the reason why you are pushed to move forward, meaning pushed to give more, pushed to do more, or it can be the reason why you hate your job. I There were certain jobs that I worked that I honestly didn't think I liked the work because I didn't like being on that job. For some of you, that is the case for you too. It's not that you don't like your work per se, you just don't like the environment that you're in because these people make the work way difficult instead of what it really requires or it really is about. And so I want to let you know you don't necessarily hate your work, meaning your career, because you hate your job. Okay. It might mean that you don't like your atmosphere. It might mean that you don't like how management is being run. It might mean so many other things. But I want to encourage you that families, organizations are made up of people with different experiences, different ways of communicating, different ways of doing things. And although it's not your way, it doesn't mean it's a terrible way. Okay. It might mean that there are other things you can learn so that you can either understand your way better, see counterpoints to how you were doing things in case it can be done better. It allows you to vary your experience and your understanding. And if this will allow you to function better, how much greater can you really become if you fully allow yourself to immerse into what could be compared to what you know? One of the reasons why at work many of us may not see the progress or that family bond is because we don't have the patience with ourselves or other people that life requires. Life requires patience. I know for many of us, we're like, oh, just microwave it, put it here, pressure cook it, do that. We have all these resources to speed up processes, but some things are still based on natural science. And patience is one of those things you can't microwave, you can't pressure cook it. Patience is something you learn with experience over time. And the quicker you are able to embrace the concept of patience, the more you are able to apply it to other areas in your life where it is more demanded than ever. I would say raising children requires patience and the willingness to repeat yourself. Repeat yourself without feeling special or stupid or slowed down or dumb, because that's not what it is. What it is when we are learning something new, when we are trying to what condition ourselves or someone else, it doesn't happen in a flash. It doesn't happen as quickly as we may want it to all the time. It will require us to stretch at times. And when we don't really feel like doing that, then we'll just say, well, I'm not made to learn, or it's too difficult, or the work is too much, or I don't want to do this anymore. And we can choose to check out when it's really time to dig deeper. Okay. If you are finding that you hate your job or you just don't like it, I want you to dig deeper to see where you can show up, where you can get fulfillment in your job. Is it more based on helping customers? You may not like management, but you love helping people. You may love helping people, but some people make it difficult. So that you focus on the people that if you didn't help them, where would they be? So this helps you to endure the people that are along the way that you won't deal with. Okay. So I want you to focus on the good as you go to work, because working is a part of the blessing. Okay. I also want you to realize you have choices. You get to choose where you work and how you do it and who you do it for. So make sure you're taking advantage of all those options. All right. They're there because some of us are going to choose to do something different. If you need to reinvent yourself, if you want to go down another path, if you want to launch your business or start something new, that's good. That's wonderful. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to drop your job just to start it. It means you start it and you may work both of them until you figure out how it's going to pan out in your life. Maybe it's a hobby that you just get fulfillment of and it's not your retirement plan. Okay. And I want to let you know it's okay to do stuff because you enjoy it. Working can be fun. Okay. I know it sounds strange because we see work as slavery sometimes, but that's only if you are doing something against your will. Then yeah, it is slavery. If you feel like you're not getting paid enough or you're not getting paid at all for what you're doing, then I can understand how you can feel like a volunteer or a slave. All right. But a volunteer is a person who willfully chooses to work and they offset financial gains, but they're gaining something: discipline, understanding, wisdom, okay, relating to people. They're getting experience, okay? So what you value, you will work for. And that's what my point is today: is whatever you value, you're going to be willing to work for. And if you have not been showing to work, if you've been showing up late, if you've been showing up half ready, if you've not been showing up with a sober mind, I want you to look at how you can show up to work better, to advance yourself, to advance your goals, and to benefit the people you work for, you work with, and ultimately to see how all those two things, or all these things really, kind of work towards your purpose. Okay. I don't want you to spend your whole life and then realize, man, Lord, I didn't do any of the work you asked of me. I was busy. I did a lot of stuff, but none of these things are going to go into practice. None of these things are going to go through the fire and come out because they were not the things you asked me to do or you wanted me to do in addition. You see? So I want to encourage you, seek out what the Father has for you, because there is victory in that. And know that you are not alone. And the plans the Father has for you, He will show up to do. Before I let you guys go, I definitely want to give you a couple more nuggets from this devotion. Again, it's on page 65 and it goes to about page 72. So here is the prayer that's on page 70 for this particular day. This is day 7 in the book. Bless the work of my hands. You can take a picture of it if you want to grab it from Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or where have you. But here it is. The prayer goes like this: Father, help me today to make better use of my time. I have been looking at others you've blessed, and I want your blessing on my life. I no longer look at anyone with envy, nor will I spend a lot of time looking at what others may boast about, but I will boast in your goodness. I will keep my heart from distractions and keep my focus set on pleasing you and not the world. I will work as unto the Lord because my reward is with you. I thank you today for cleaning my heart, renewing my focus, and helping me to be mindful of how I spend my time and resources. So here's the affirmation that I would encourage you to meditate on, to allow to, just really permeate your spirit and allow you to see life maybe a little bit different in how you spend your time. All right. You are the provider of every breath that I take. And I thank you for giving me life so that I may serve you all the more. Okay, you ready? Here's the affirmation one more time. You are the provider of every breath that I take. And I thank you for giving me life so that I may serve you all the more. I want to let you know, when we are willing to serve Christ, we are willing to see life the way he does. He loves his creation, whether we love him back or not. Okay. He loves to be who he is, and he is love. And his ways are higher than ours. And his thoughts for how to bless people and help people are better than our versions. And really, these versions are going to help pull out the best in you. So when it says, I love the Lord and I want to serve him and give him my best, that also includes giving your best to the people that want to hear you, that want to see you, that want to embrace the ways that you can embrace God. It doesn't limit how you love people, but it shows how much more you could do. Okay, we can all say, oh Lord, it's only so much time in the day. I'm tired. I'm this, I'm that. But I want to let you know, when the Father is in it, he'll help you move better. He'll help you think better. He'll help you feel joy and love in something that might have been a challenge. But as you go through it, you're like, wow, Lord, I didn't think I could do it. So he can build your faith. He can build your confidence. For some of you, you're struggling with, if I'm good enough. I want to let you know, even if you don't think you are, the Father's counted you worthy, which is why you're here and why you're still here and why there's still more for you to do. Okay. He says the work he starts in us, he'll finish it. So if he wants you to be a phenomenal singer, let him help you develop it. If he wants you to be a worshiper, a dancer, you know what I'm saying? A teacher, a preacher, a prophetess, a son or daughter of Zion, of the Most High God, let him work on you. If you want him to show you how good he is, allow him to take the things from you that you thought could never leave. Allow him to what? He says the things that are impossible for you to do, for me to do out of our own strength, are possible when we what? Connect with the Father. So in our weaknesses, he's made strong. So when you feel like, Lord, help me in this. Help me what? To work at what I'm doing, because I need you. The Father says, lean on him because he cares about you. The Father calls himself your strong tower. So guess what? When you are working, when you are running and you get weary and well doing, don't quit, because the Father is here to send you help, to send you resources, finances, whatever you need. When we have children, I know for some of us, we might think, oh Lord, I don't know if I can work. I don't know if I can get this. I don't know if I could do this. When I started having my children, one of the things I always asked the Father for was to be one of the greatest influences in their lives, and for my influence to help bring them back to him, not for them to see all my weaknesses, to see how fallible, how problematic people could be, but for them to see how good the Father is, because what he is able to do for me, which is an extension of what he has done for them. And so I want to encourage you, if you have felt like, oh my gosh, people are seeing all my mistakes, but can they really appreciate the good? My short answer to you is yes. It is possible to, what do we say? To eat the meat and spit out the bones. It's possible for the Father to use your life experiences that are good and not so good to be a testimony to enrich people that need to hear it, so that they don't do, or if they have done, they'll know what to do because they can be inspired by you. Allow yourself to be an inspiration, a beacon of light. The Bible says that his people are the salt of the earth. They're a city on the hill. There are these things. That means you have to allow him to position you in places where you can be seen, where you can be heard, where you can work, okay? And people can feel the blessing of what you bring to the world. Blessings, shalom. How you doing? So I want to encourage each and every one of you today. Allow the Father to use the good in you. And even when people see the not so good, don't let that distract you or make you stop working and what the Father intended on you doing because you notice your imperfection. Allow it to continue to push you and motivate you to know that there is still more. Because I used to be worse. I used to think like this, and I've already come here. If I allow the Father to keep doing what only He can do, where could I be and where will I be? Because you got to make a commitment to work with the Father because that's what He wants us to do. He made us more than conquerors. Conquerors have to go conquer, which means they work. They do things, and they do things with the right heart. They do things with good intentions. They do things for the good of those that love the Lord, yes, but they do things for those that need what? A witness. Those that need hope in the darkness, they show up. You see them. Whether they hang out with you or not for long periods is a whole nother thing. But we have to what? Come to a higher standard. And as we're willing to come to higher standards, your friends will change. Your family that you choose will change. Yesterday, we talked about family. Family is made up of three things real quick. The people that God chose, God included, whether you embrace him or not, he's still part of the family because he created heaven and earth. Okay. The people that other people chose, you don't get to control that. Okay. And third, the people you choose. The people you choose to bring closer, the people you choose to call your auntie or your mom or your friend or this or that. You get to choose how you embrace your pastor, or if you don't want one, you get to choose if those you have met are closer to you, like than a brother is. You get to choose that. Okay. So use the power the Father has given you. This is how you conquer. This is how you conquer yourself. This is how you conquer mistakes. This is how you conquer bad habits. You have to link with people that can help carry you to the next stage. Victory Christian Center, so good to see you. Anthony, thank you so very much. I do see you as well. So I just want to let you all know that. I want to bless you with that. I know over here before I leave, there is one more comment. Let me make sure I don't miss it. Hold on one second before I go. Also, too, if you're new and you haven't followed me yet, please go ahead and do that real quick. And let me make sure I didn't miss this comment where it's okay. Over here. Hey, William, so good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. I look forward to working and finishing your book. I have not forgotten about you. So, yes, I just want to remind you of these things. So, as you start your day, as you progress through your day, keep these things in mind. As y'all see this wheel behind me, it builds. So, I'm so excited. On the next live, I'm going to be talking about church. So, if y'all ready to talk about church family, church progress, church dysfunction right now, I want to encourage you definitely to follow me because our next live is going to be on church. All right. So until the next one, and likely I usually do my lives Monday through Friday. So if you're wondering, well, when are you going to be back on? Monday through Friday is pretty much normal. Yeah, the Father's got me fairly consistent on doing lives around that time. And I usually go live between 8 and 9. Well, I would say 7:30 and about 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm on Central Time, but that's usually when you'll see me pop up on live. So definitely check out the replays. You can go to YouTube and look up author Kay Lee all together. And you can go there if you want to grab any of the books that I talked about today. The one that I was reading from is this one. You can take a picture of it. You can order it on Amazon, or you can go to my website and get a signed copy. The name of the book is Bless the Work of My Hands. It's a 21-day devotional and journal. My website is author Kay Lee. So authorklee.com. And you can definitely order the book. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. The good part is I do go through this book with you. So I call it one of my experience books. So if you want to honestly grow spiritually or just see the Father show up in your life, it's an incredible book. I've been using it for about a year now, or maybe a little bit more than that. And the testimonies have been unbelievable. And people keep the book and keep reusing it, which I encourage you to do. Okay. So until my next live, y'all stay blessed. Have a wonderful day. And Lord's willing, I'll be back on Monday. All right. Y'all enjoy your weekend. If I do a pop-up, I'll let you know. Now, next Sunday, real quick, next Sunday, every first Sunday is Embrace Your Crown. Embrace Your Crown First Sundays is coming up. So if you have not definitely tapped into one of those lives, they're on Sundays at 4 p.m. Central. So if you do want to be a part of the Embrace Your Crown conversation, next Sunday is that Sunday. And I will be putting out more content, more posts about it so you don't miss it. But man, they're good. They definitely set the tone. So I might do a pop up on Sunday or so, this coming Sunday, to just remind you all and allow you to see kind of really what that series does to help you to embrace the you are today and the one the Father has for you to become. All right. So until then, y'all be blessed. Y'all have a phenomenal weekend. Shalom, shalom. Happy Friday. And